Welcome back, everybody. Let's have a look at something that we don't normally look at, but something that I've always held in high regard. And I've had a nice bag of it for a while now, and I intend to keep a bag of it for a while. And there's a few reasons for that, and it's mainly fundamental. But secondly, I'm glad I did, because BAT doesn't seem to care about you anymore, Bitcoin. BAT is on a mission, and it doesn't care. Excuse me. So yes, there was a dump, and yes, there was also a dump here. But in the grand scheme of things, there's only one winner in the short term, and that is BAT. BAT is looking really good, and is probably, in my mind, I don't see a problem with it taking out its all-time high at some point really soon. That sounds like crazy to say because we've pumped massively already, but I'm telling you now, with moves like this, we had a golden cross back here and it's been nice since. And in fact, that's moved similar to the way that Bitcoin's moved. We've had some nasty dumps and we came down to test really low levels and significant areas like the 200 exponential. That's all feels like ancient history now. Really, the important part was breaking out of this support resistance area. And it's only a very small box, but it corresponds to these bodies around here, this top here, these supports also, and also this kind of launch pad from when it sort of, I suppose, first came onto Binance platform. So we've broken out of there and we've gone really, really high. In fact, maybe a little too high, because we came all the way up to this secondary resistance box here, which is up in these higher levels after we came down from, I suppose, a parabolic move here. So bounces around here, rejections, and then finally last call rejection around here, and that's around 36 cent, and we tested that area and we got rejected from it. But this is still looking very, very, very strong. Let's have a look at the MACD. So the MACD is massively diverging away from each other. This red has got no chance to catch up to that blue. I mean, they used to be mates hanging around together for a long time, and now they've basically, thought, nah, I've had enough of you. I'm moving on. I'm moving on to bigger things. I'm moving on to bigger prices, and that's basically the way I see it. I like to add character to my indicators, because otherwise they're just boring lines. Money flow index has still got way, way, way higher to go if it wants to. The RSI, however, is looking pretty high. Let's measure this in comparison to where it's been in the past. It's been higher than this in the past, but also that was parabolic. So yes, I'd like to see it come down a little bit, but has it got room to move? Definitely has got room to move. So I honestly think that this one has a very strong chance of breaking up above this level and then taking out its previous high. That's all it needs to do, is take out this level, be supported above 38 cent roughly, 38 cent roughly speaking, being supported, closing above there with a candle body. We will likely see our all-time high taken out and new all-time highs being forged. Now, fundamentally, BAT token is still in its infancy. I use the Brave browser. I don't know if you do. If you don't, you should. It's probably the best browser I technically use. I use it more often than most on my new computers. I don't use it so much on this one, but you can see I've got it down at the bottom of my screen. You can see that I use it. More people are taking that on every day. It's still in, I think, just over 10 million daily users or so. So it's not massive, but it's big enough. But it's a really good browser. And that aside, the circulating volume is almost matching the total volume, which means that it won't be so long now. It's difficult to put a time frame on it, but I'd probably say within a 12-month period, the total supply will be all in circulation, and that in itself will mean probably that it will increase massively at that point, because it means that any Brave token that's out there is out there, and it'll have to be bought back and the price will go back up. So it's likely to see really big growth when that trigger is pulled. Now that's a fundamental analysis. That's not going on anything here. That's just some little tidbits of what's likely to happen with it in the future. The more people that use it, and again there's more people using it every day, the more likely that that total supply will basically be used it will all be gone, and it'll be all in circulation, and that will increase its value massively, and we will look back in times like this and go, wow, a BAT coin was like, what, pence cents, was it, in the past? Maybe like a $5 or something, $5 or more, when it's finished. At the end of the bull run, I expect it to be probably more than that. So I always keep a bag of this. There's a few of these real world use case tokens that I like to keep hold of. My favourite is BAT. Second favourite is actually StormX, and maybe my close to maybe even being my favourite, taken over from all of these, is SXP. Real world use case, give to the public, crypto that they will have for not even wanting to be in crypto. They will actually just have it because they use that product. They will have that crypto will be theirs. It's not like they've researched or delved into or tried to pick apart the intricacies of the crypto world. They will just be given it for doing something that they normally do, and that is adoption. You could say things like XRP could become adoption if X, Y, and Z happens, but X, Y, and Z might not happen. But as far as this is concerned, this is X, Y, and Z already, and it's just taking more and more time for it to happen. Same with Storm, definitely with SXP. Those are the sort of products that will... what you need is the people, not like you and me, that watch these videos and are in the crypto world already. You don't want us using crypto. We use enough of it already, don't we? Let's face it. What you want is the people who don't use it to use it. That's the adoption process. You want institutions to use it, really, but if institutions aren't using it, you need the people to use it, and people use and will be using, and hopefully will use this frequently in the future. And they're some of the tokens. They're pretty much the only tokens that I like to hold long term, regardless of price action, because of those sort of ideas. I'm not a big fundamentals type of guy. I personally think that in 20 years' time, crypto will be over, actually. I know that sounds mad, but the advent of quantum computers and things like that, what's the point of a blockchain? There isn't really. It renders the whole thing obsolete. So give it 20, 30 years, blockchain will be like a typewriter to whatever takes its place. But we've got a long time before then, so let's enjoy it while we got it. And this is the sort of thing that I would like to hedge my bets with. Anyway, again, I keep going off on tangents, I'm sorry about that, but at the end of the day, BAT token's looking really good. The reason for this pump is because we broke out of this major resistance that we've been dancing around for a long period of time. The next area of resistance is simply this area here, which we tested today and been rejected from anyway, with or without Bitcoin doing that. So if you just want to stick around just for a couple more minutes, I promise I'll be as fast as possible. The reason Bitcoin... I believe Bitcoin to still be bullish is because we have a trend line here, a trend line that's been going for a very long time, over 3 years, where we get rejected from and supported from, rejected and supported and rejected, and then recently we were being rejected from it many times, and then we broke above it and we went crazy, and now we came down to get supported on it. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a good sign, even though it looked like a nasty dump and a lot of people suffered from that. We still got supported on this level, so as far as I'm concerned, we're still good to go. And actually this is a buy signal. If it's a buy signal for Bitcoin, it'll be a buy signal for most crypto at this point. And this spread of moving averages here shows nothing but bullishness to me. The only crack in the problem here is this unfortunate looking MACD, which hasn't had a positive cross, but that is the only little thing, and actually that is still in way in bullish territory, so it's not a big problem. In fact, I wouldn't mind coming down a little bit, as long as we don't get massive divergence here, a massive divergence down here, but we're still way away from the 0 point, which is all the way back down here. Crossing down beneath there, yeah, you'll be super bearish at that point, but we're way away from that. I don't see a problem with this, and I actually like it, because it offers me another opportunity to get in before we go crazy. And crazy, I mean actual last year's high, 14,000, would probably, be a bit lower than that. I'd actually go on these candles here. First, we're talking about 12,000 and 12,500 would be, for me, an area to break above, and then we can start to go nice and crazy. Now, judging from previous candle bodies, and I know this is really boring. We've got one here, which is, I suppose, where we were rejected from here. That's fine. Not many people talk about that. That's the 12,500, and that just corresponds to these wicks and these candle bodies here, here, and here, and here. And then we've got these wicks and these candle bodies around here, which is 13,000. So there are resistances in this area, and obviously the 14,000 last year's all-time high, but breaking above there's not much to go by, to be honest with you. We're talking 16,000 should be fine, then we're straight up to around about 17,200, then we're going all the way up to about 19,000. There's not much in the way from there. So I know it's a long way away. We don't know what really is going to happen, do we? But at the moment I wouldn't get too worried, because the reason we bounced from here is because we had two major moving averages here and this upwards trend line, which is over 3 years long. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. I know that's really boring, but I don't think there's a problem with crypto at the moment. I don't see that there's any reason to be worried until we break down beneath this trend line and then find ourselves being rejected from it. So crypto is still good to go, and Bitcoin is certainly good to go as well. But all of this changes when you break down beneath this level, which as of today is around about 11,800. It moves up slowly, creeps up slowly every day, but keep that area in your mind. A candle body close beneath 11,800 might be reason to think about a bear in the room, but for the moment the bear's still outside and the doors are locked, so we're alright. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you have a nice evening. Take it easy.